quite a lot of the songs I write will either be about my feelings, which obviously I wasn't really having any new feelings, and then also stories that people tell you after a gig, or when they're, you know, when you're chatting over the merch stand and they say, oh, I heard this wonderful story and it's about this witch from Lancashire, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I will use that. And that obviously wasn't happening. And I think quite a lot of songwriters, you either fell into two camps of writing all the time and getting everything down on paper, or possibly not writing at all.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who had a big struggle, but I haven't really written for a long time by myself. I do a lot of co-writing, but I haven't written songs as just me for so many years now. I sort of dropped the ball a long time ago and I'm struggling to pick it up again. But I know a lot of musicians who had to like force themselves into a routine to write, because it's exactly that thing. If there's a lack of stimulus, what are you writing about? And especially like you said, if you get fed ideas from the people you meet, it's so hard to be a self-perpetuating creative force. Actually, it really highlights how much we depend on connection for even that kind of solitary act of composition and writing is fed by other people's energy and ideas.
My mental health definitely deteriorates if I'm not productive. So I throw myself into it just to keep myself okay. And so I did write quite a bit. And I felt myself, if I would go for a month without writing something, I could feel it creeping on. You know, it's almost like a guilt for that I'm letting go of something that is essentially me. And where does that leave me if I do that? So I would make myself go back. Me and Chris are very different in how she approaches writing. She writes to deadlines and she writes when she has to. She always says she'd rather double dig the neighbour's garden than sit. Whereas I'm quite disciplined, so I will go into the studio and I won't come out until I've actually made a start, even if it's just a basic idea.
Yeah.
So it keeps me feeling like I still have a purpose.
I don't know, I just think I had these songs that I wanted to write, and initially I think I knew what I wanted to say and maybe pulled back from being so open about it. But then thought, well, actually, it's something that needs to be said. And if I can put a positive spin on it, or just kind of dig a little deeper at something that might be uncomfortable to listen to or consume, it's still worth kind of exposing that if it helps someone in one way or another, if they can connect to it or reflect on it, or it allows them to see that maybe they're going through something that they wasn't able to kind of self-diagnose or whatever. I don't know, I just thought if it helps in one small way, then I think that's great. And it helped me to write it as well. So I think it was something I didn't want to avoid doing.